When our kids were little, my husband Dale and I used to take our kids camping from the time when they were little babies to teenagers. And we realized that we really just don't kind of do that thing anymore now that the kids have left home. So recently Dale and I went for our own little camping adventure. And while we were sitting around the campfire, we thought it might be fun to experiment doing a podcast together. So this podcast is a little bit different than the usual Change Guru podcasts, but I hope you enjoy it. And a warning, a gin and tonic or two was consumed during the making of it. Enjoy the show. The Change Guru podcast is brought to you by my books, Be Your Own Change Guru and How to Find Your Purpose After 40. They're available on Amazon, and if you like the show, buying a book is an awesome way to show your support for what I'm doing. And now, here's the podcast.
The Change Guru. Listen up. You are the guru of your own midlife change. Gotta take it and own it. Don't be restricted by age. What's the number anyway? Live your dreams, don't hesitate. You're the change guru. You're the change guru. This is the time to step up, make your dreams come true. Whatever the change, it all starts with you. Whether it's life's purpose, relationships or career. Whatever the change, it's time to get what you want, what you really, really want. Make a change in midlife and still look really hot. Listen here, don't have fear. You're the master of your fate. You're the woman of the year. I mean it. Change your life forever. I mean it. It's not too late, no never. I said I mean it. Change your life forever. I mean it. It's not too late, no never, ever. Yeah. The Change Guru. All starts with you.
Hello, welcome to the Change Guru podcast, episode number 28. It's Sue Paget here, and thank you so much for making some time in your day to have a listen. Today I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes of my life. A few months ago, around the Christmas vacation, my husband Dale and I went on our first camping trip without any children at all. We kind of camped through our whole lives with them beginning when they were really little babies, all through till their teens, and then we kind of stopped because everyone grew up and we just kind of were able to travel like normal adults. But for whatever reason, we had a hankering to get down to the ground and actually get in a tent. So Dale and I took off, and for a while we've been talking about wanting to do a podcast together, and so we found an opportunity to do it while we were sitting around a campfire, and this is the result of that. Dale and I really do want to do some podcasts together. So while you're listening, have a think about what you're hearing, and I'd love to know your thoughts. Would you be interested in another show with just Dale and I, just talking husband and wife stuff, just kind of giving our perspective on whatever, on midlife stuff, on everything, but from a man's point of view and from a woman's point of view? So have a listen. I'd love to get your feedback on that. Before I get started, let me do some quick business. If you love and support the show, this is what you can do to really help me out. You can leave a honest review on iTunes. You can buy my books, Be Your Own Change Guru or How to Find Your Purpose After 40. You can come and be a part of my community by subscribing on iTunes, subscribing on YouTube, liking on Facebook. All of that kind of stuff is a great way to show that you are enjoying what we are doing here, what I am doing, what Dale's doing, what we're all doing together to get through this whole midlife thing and thoroughly enjoy it. All right, without any further ado, let me introduce to you my beautiful husband, Dale Paget, and this is us just sitting around a campfire talking about stuff. Okay, so this is the Dale and Sue show. We don't know what the name of our podcast is going to be, but I think we should maybe start out, first of all, before we say where we are, what this is, everything like that, just in case we actually play this, we actually use this, we should probably say who we are. So who are you? Who are you?
And I'm a camper. I'm sitting out here camping. See, this can be done in any order. It doesn't have to be done in a particular order. Like this is the first one, even though this is actually the second one that we've recorded together.
I know.
But I'm Dale.
Don't make things complicated, though.
I'm Dale, and I'm a camper today and a surfer.
Yeah, but you're my boyfriend.
3 surfs. And we've been married for 30 years,
30
almost.
amazing years. No, I'm kidding.
No, we had some rough ones. We might make 30 because it's 29 and a bit.
You never know.
Yeah.
Don't rest on your laurels.
Don't go counting chickens.
Yeah, don't go counting.
But we are camping, and that should test us.
Yeah.
And 30 years ago, or 30 odd years ago, we were camping with our family. We did a bunch of camping trips. But this is the first. When's the last time we've been camping?
The last time we went camping,
I'm trying to think.
man, I cannot remember.
It's a long, long time. You know what? I think I do know when it was. It was maybe 5-6 years ago when we took the kids camping. Maybe a bit early, maybe almost 10 years. Soon after we arrived in Sydney, we went camping down, and remember there was that place which had these amazing stingrays and things like that.
In Jarvis Bay area.
In Jarvis Bay area. Now we're camping.
That was the time we went camping with our son Henry, who was really embarrassed that he was camping with us.
Yeah,
he was our oldest.
He was a teen. He was like a late teenager, and it was just that's what happens when you're a late teenager.
It was like the worst possible thing in the world to be camping with your parents.
But we should also mention then that we have 3 children. They've all pretty much grown.
They're all grown up.
The youngest is 21.
And we've talked about them the whole time we've been camping by ourselves.
That's bollocks. No, we haven't.
You can say bullshit.
Well, it's bollocks. It's not. That's not true.
I've been thinking of them.
No, but I haven't. I've been in. I mean, by the way, an iguana just is walking by the camp. Well, a goanna is walking by the road and
cool. And I'll put a video
tent.
up on the show notes for this episode of the thingy. It looks like when I first moved to Australia 30 years ago when we got married, and we moved to the mainland. We started off in Hobart, which is Tasmania, the island below the mainland of Australia, and then we moved to this subtropical part of Australia called Lismore. It was really hot and steamy.
Northern New South Wales, near Byron Bay.
Yeah. Really, really rainforesty area. And I would go walking down this trail to town, and every once in a while you'd see these gigantic, they're just huge lizards, just straight out of
They're about 4 or 5 foot long, about a meter and a half long.
They're huge. So anyways, that cool thing about this campground where we're at, it's a campground called Treachery Beach, and it's about 3 hours north of Sydney. And it does, this little campground does have these goannas.
It's probably 3 hours north of Sydney to you because you had a little snooze. It's actually closer to 4 hours.
No, I did not.
But maybe just blanked out because it was actually 4 hours.
Is it really closer to 4 hours?
Closer to 4 hours from Sydney.
Wow.
But it was an easy drive. It was a straightforward drive and no traffic. And if you can hear in the background, you hear like the soothing sound of a ping pong table because nearby in this camping area we have families playing ping pong. We're actually sitting in a very wooded little alcove.
But it's Christmas. It's like the last week of the Christmas vacation. It's summertime in Australia, so it's like the equivalent in America. Maybe it's before Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day, whatever is the weekend before people go back to work in September.
And it's the middle of summer.
So it's super. It's really it's busy, but it's a nice campground in that. This has been the best thing. There's no Wi-Fi and there's no service.
All of a sudden we cannot talk on the phone from here. We cannot text anything. I actually found a spot this morning when when we were down at the beach. I switched my phone on to see if I could get Wi-Fi, and for a moment it gave not Wi-Fi. I mean, if I could get some service and for a moment it gave me service. Yeah. And I texted our son.
Today,
I texted our son just to see if I had any messages or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I texted our son to say, we were sitting on this beach and it was absolutely beautiful. It was glassy, and I said, I feel like I'm in a Corona commercial.
Yeah.
Where you'd rather be, I think is what they say.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely beautiful.
Like the sand's super white and the waves were really beautiful and
glassy and hardly anybody around.
Yeah.
The only thing was missing was a Corona.
Yeah.
But now we're sitting up in a in our campground, and we have beautiful lush foliage around us. The odd goanna walking around. Yesterday we had
Are they
a
goannas or
kookaburra.
are they blue-tongued lizards?
No, blue-tongued lizards that is a little one. They're much smaller. They're goannas. They're goannas.
And blue-tongued lizards are like more kind of slimy black skin?
No, blue-tongued lizards are the one that I showed you yesterday on another trail, which is kind of it's a lovely speckled coloured skin, but they lay flat. They've got a light underbelly and a darker top. These goannas, if you can imagine somebody doing a push-up or something, they're like really low to the ground. They kind of just crawl along the ground. Anyway, it's nice. And I think the reason we were kind of sitting here talking about possibly rolling the record button on this is the whole idea of camping and getting back to nature and getting away from Wi-Fi, even though I had it momentarily this morning. It's actually
Where was the spot?
On the beach. On the beach. And when I flicked it on first of all, it didn't. I had nothing. And then when I flicked it on again, then I did.
Yeah.
And we're sitting on this beach called Treachery Beach. I mean, what a wild name! And it was the most beautiful
It's completely
day.
contrary to the name. It's not treacherous at all.
But I think it can be wild. I think that's the thing. It can really creep up and be really completely wild because in the surf, there were waves that were just beautiful and easy and calm, and then all of a sudden you get this set roll in of waves from nowhere, and they would smash you and look to break your board.
But it's more than no Wi-Fi. There's no phone service.
Yep.
So that's a whole other story.
Yeah, I meant
than
Wi-Fi. I'm sorry. I'm talking. I meant
like
phone
you could
service.
text.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so unusual to be in a place where there's no phone service.
And more, it's going to become more and more unusual. By the way, that lovely sound of someone hammering in tent pegs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and more and more, I mean, basically all this, the service, the 3G or 4G or whatever service, the phone service, is going to creep into places like this.
Yeah.
And instead of seeing people on the phone, which you do all the time, right now within our own, within the view that we can see sitting on a camp chair, sitting in front of a campfire.
Like kids are playing ping pong.
Yep.
I mean, like some
Kids are
people are
playing
very extreme with their camping situations. Like people bring ping pong tables. We don't even have a table. We have our.
We've got a plastic box as a table.
Yeah, we got a plastic box that holds our. The only thing that we did that was kind of weird is we brought an espresso machine because if you can't have good coffee, it could be an issue. So but that's the only thing that we brought that was a little extreme.
I know, but I mean that's the first. We kind of bought it as a bit of a gimmick as well. We thought, actually, if we can find a PowerPoint, we can plug it in and we can have an espresso coffee.
Yeah.
But the point I just wanted to make in our field of view right now is, we have some kids playing ping pong. We've got other kids. They were before playing like some type of frisbee tennis thing. They're playing frisbee together. There's a bunch of kids talking and playing with each other. There's families together talking and playing.
I mean, it's like you have to go and get really extreme and do a whole camping thing, and that's how the only way you can get kids off their devices.
Yeah.
And not forget the kids. Everybody. I mean, me included.
Everybody off their devices. Because
everybody off their
the
thing.
devices.
Just get them to a place where there's no service.
The devices are so everywhere. It's incredible.
I mean, I think when I'm just lighting a candle.
Sue's lighting a candle to give us an ambience.
Get a little bit of ambience. We got the mosquito coils going. They're not too bad.
No, the mozzies aren't bad. I've got a few. I've had like 4 or 5 bites. So.
Really?
And in 3 days, it's not too bad.
Nah,
but it's also taken 3 days just to settle into it. Can I say? There are moments where I'm just really, really enjoy. There was somebody winning a ping pong tournament. But I'm really now settling into it, feeling relaxed, and it makes you chill. It takes you away because you can't get on a device.
No. We downloaded some movies to watch at night, and also I was gonna do some work. We were both gonna do some work.
Yeah.
While we both brought our computers. My computer has not left its skin. It's still in the front seat of the car.
Neither is mine. Mine is exactly where I put it when I loaded the car.
We got old timey books.
Yep.
I saw her next door, the people that are next door, she's got a Kindle going on.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, I'd be happy with a Kindle.
No, I know, but it's just like, this is so old-timey, having an actual book. What book are you reading, Paget?
I'm reading Get Shorty, Elmore Leonard book. Great book. Just a rollicking caper kind of story.
I'm reading Cyndi Lauper. I like reading autobiographies of people.
And we're both drinking gin and tonic.
Yeah, you made a strong gin and tonic.
Well, that one's a weak one. The first one I did make was a little strong. I just wanted to loosen you up a bit. You seemed a bit uptight. And now I've made a much more normal. The funny thing is, that I might have loosened you up a bit too much because you had trouble sitting before.
I think I'd rather have a gin than all this sugary tonic-y water.
No, but the tonic's not sugary, I don't think. The tonic's the stuff
Tonic water is super sugary.
Is it really?
Yes. Tonic
The
water
hidden
is
sugar,
like,
that's another podcast where the sugar is all hiding.
well, we can talk about our paleo situation, but our the tonic water to me tastes like drinking 7-Up for sure. Mm-hmm. Is that the gin or is that the tonic water?
Well,
Because tonic water has sugar in it for sure.
I'm not sure. I thought tonic water was better than any other kind of soda. I mean, maybe mineral water. I always thought tonic water was kind of the good thing. The thing with tonic water...
No, wait, I can tell you right now that's not
What is
true.
the stuff that stops you from getting malaria? Is that in the gin or in the tonic?
Gin. Oh, it's the quinine.
Now, is that in the gin or in the tonic?
Tonic.
There you go. So the tonic...
Has
well,
nothing
done.
to do-
I'm going to go... Right now, I'm going to look at the ingredients in tonic water so that we can at least
why don't you try Googling
clear this up.
it?
But I can't Google because we can't, because we have nothing. We have no Wi-Fi.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're going to have to Google in your mind.
No, I don't have to do that because I actually can go and get the bottle and it's going to list for me all the ingredients. So why don't you talk amongst yourself while I go and get the bottle? And I'll be 1 second. I'm just going to walk over to the car.
I can tell you right now that it's quinine in the tonic water, but one thing that tonic water is so sweet. Tonic water is like drinking total 7-Up in my book. So, whatever, I'm camping.
I
Here you go.
absolutely... No,
I'm going to guarantee you, he's got the bottle of tonic water. I guarantee you that sugar is going to be the first thing on it.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not looking at it, but I actually think water will be because I haven't looked at anything.
Okay.
But can I just say, I always thought that...
sugar number 2.
I always thought that that of all the mixed drinks, of all the cocktails, and all that, that gin and tonic was probably one of the better ones for you because it didn't have like a ginger beer or a Coca-Cola or a lemonade or one of these things that just taste really sweet. Like, this does not taste sweet to me.
Okay.
Should I go and have a look or not?
Yeah, have a look. Just to tell you, I did Google about, because Dale and I are both we're trying to work out a new way of eating. So one thing that we're doing is we are not doing dairy anymore, and we're not doing wheat. We might have a little bit of wheat because that.
We're not being crazy nuts about it,
we're
but
exploring.
we are not doing it unless
too.
we really unless it is necessary.
Yeah.
So if somebody hands us a biscuit, we're not going to say no. I'm going to eat that biscuit.
Yeah, we're not going to be rude.
But if we can cook, and it's kind of I'm enjoying being creative, trying to find things, but rather than hold you waiting, Susu, the ingredients are. First ingredient, carbonated water.
Okay, well, it can't be, the first ingredient can be sugar, otherwise it'd be weird. Okay, carbonated water, second ingredient, sugar.
You are?
Correct. Yes. It is like bloody 7-Up.
You smashed it.
Yeah, totally.
Third ingredient, food acid.
Ugh, okay.
330. Fourth ingredient, flavor.
Oh, flavor? What?
Fifth ingredient, preservative 211.
Jesus. Preservative 211.
So it's, if we could Google right now, and
okay,
people
if you're listening right now, please
Google.
Can you let us know what preservative 211 is, please?
And food acid 330. It's called food acid 330.
Why would you need those extra things?
Well, because
to keep them from growing like scobies.
1, 2, 3.
That's a little bit of a a little bit of insider info for those of you who do kombucha.
Six. I've just switched off then because I couldn't understand what you're saying. As has most of the audience listening right now.
Not my audience.
The sixth ingredient, that little favourite, that mosquito repellent quinine.
Oh, quinine.
Quinine.
As they say in America.
Huh.
Right.
Attention, contains quinine.
Oh, wait, so, yeah.
So there you go.
Weird. So tonic water is like a sugary, like here's the ingredients.
It's sugary, malaria cure, malaria repellent.
I wonder why they
mosquito repellent.
Why they need the preservative of the flavor. Like they could totally do just the carbonated water. I guess you have to have the sugar and the quinine.
Well, it's made me rethink because I really thought that a gin and tonic was kind of a healthy drink for you. If you were to have an alcoholic drink, not saying that alcohol is going to be healthy for you, but I thought that would be a good way to go. What do I know? I'm learning new things.
There is a really good post, and I'll put a link to it in the show notes.
I'm not happy about learning new things, by the way.
Wow.
Like I was much happier in my ignorance that gin and tonic was actually a healthy alternative.
Maybe there's like special tonic water you can buy now if you go to a fancier store. Like I saw, there's a Whole Foods now. In Australia, I know everybody in America has Whole Foods, so it's really common. But I betcha at the Whole Foods in Sydney, in Wallara, maybe they have healthy tonic water that doesn't have all the crap in it. Like I don't know why.
I'd like to discover what is then the healthy cocktail that you can drink, and maybe
I'm trying to tell you a million times. I was looking at alcohol for paleo. So anyways, the diet that we're kind of settling into is paleo, because we both are meat eater. We both seem satisfied with having protein, which is either meat, fish, or chicken. I'm not sure if chicken's paleo. And what I gather...
Well, we definitely have a lot of fish, more fish than meat.
Yeah, and what I gather from
but we're not
paleo,
being crazy.
What I gather from paleo is just looking for the highest quality kind of stuff, is clean and whatever is possible, and then a lot of vegetables, a lot of veggies, and what else are we doing? And then you're cooking with coconut oil, and then we cook with olive oil, which is supposedly a bad thing, so we got to work on that. Anyways, so I was looking at drinking alcohol, and a lot of paleo people, like they will drink a glass of red wine every single night. They'll have that, but then they were talking about there's certain kind of they didn't call it hard liquor, they called it more it wasn't gin, it was more like, I feel like bourbon or whiskeys or stuff. There are certain kind of alcohols that were appropriate for paleo style.
Well, I guess our exploration continues.
But I don't recall them saying gin was one of them. Sorry to say.
No, it's fine. My favorite is spiced rum. I like spiced rum, but I'm yet to find a mixer that I can do, which is going to be
kombucha,
kind of healthy. A mixer that doesn't taste like horrible vinegar.
Yeah.
I mean, kombucha. The ones that I've tried that you've showed me are not. I just can't. I don't like drinking vinegar, and they're more vinegary than vinegar.
You can get something.
But it's a nice.
Gingery.
Can I just say that it is a nice exploration, and I'm enjoying. It's kind of reviving our interest in food and drink, and it's also making us healthier. I know that since I've given up dairy or cut dairy way back to almost zero. It's not zero, but near to zero, and cut wheat to almost zero or near to zero. I feel a lot better. I know that I've shed some kilos, and it's made me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
I think it's been a good and positive endeavour, which has lasted now a few months.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean, I used to hate. I really did. I was getting to the point. Before we started changing stuff, I was getting to the point I'd go to the grocery store and I would totally hate shopping. I felt like everything had so much crap in it, so many preservatives, so much. I didn't know where this wheat was coming from. I always eat a lot of wheat. I'm not sensitive to it, or I've never felt sensitive to it. And but I was really hating going grocery shopping, and Dale would do most of the grocery. I would go with him just like for moral support to carry some bags. but I just sit there in the aisles and just like
Yes,
stare at them. Just
Sue would go there like begrudgingly.
Yeah,
and
but
she'd almost like follow me around
and maybe
like
it's
a handmaiden.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good word to use, handmaiden.
Isn't it?
No, I think that's something really weird.
Is it? Well, you follow me around like you, like I don't know. Well, it was you wouldn't be there. You were not there to be part of the shopping
get
experience.
Me out of here so much. I couldn't. I felt like I was just shopping with the devil. But since we've stopped doing that, and it's made me have to step up a bit. I have to make our almond milk now, which I really, really enjoy. And also, I kind of thought, after 25 years of having kids and stuff like that too, that I hated. Not hated. I didn't like doing the cooking or the shopping stuff anymore. I thought maybe I was just completely over it. But since we've been stopping certain things, you have to implement other things. So, you give up dairy, and then you introduce almond milk. We're making our own almond milk, and I thoroughly enjoy making that. And then from the pulp, I enjoy making crackers from it, or I enjoy making like a base for sweets from it. And then from giving up dairy, I've learned how to make some cheese out of cashew. It's got me interested in food again, and I have to put in a little bit of elbow grease into it. But I like that too, because I'm not relying on the grocery store to provide me the stuff that we eat. So it's been a good experience.
It's got you really back in the kitchen.
Yeah, which is...
shame
you can't get me pregnant.
in the kitchen and barefoot and pregnant and in the kitchen.
No, truly, and that's a nice place to be.
It is, and in some ways, I wish we started this exploration a lot earlier, because I think this would have been great stuff to feed and teach our kids. We are teaching them somewhat of what we do now, and sharing these great desserts that you're making.
I feel like we thought we were healthy when we had the kids.
Yeah, but we'd still have a lasagna every week. We'd still have one night where we would make... That
was back in the day.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it was the easiest thing to do.
With that.
No, but it was also the easiest thing to do. You're just kind of in survival mode. Okay, home from work, what are we going to make the kids tonight that are going to fill them?
Frozen lasagna.
But now I think we would feed them a lot better. But I also think that it's also part of the learning curve. It's you only get there by having gone there.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt there's people that are early adopters and are here a lot earlier than us. Now that we're here, it's a great thing to. It's revitalized, I think, our interest in cooking and in shopping and in food and And
we've kind of stuck with it a bit while we've been camping, like.
We have all the way. We are thinking all the time about, okay, I'm thinking all the time, how do we do it?
That's the hardest thing. When you're trying to be a little bit healthy, when you travel, it really presents some stuff. Like when we were in Tasmania a few weeks ago, and they're still way into bread and way into dairy, and then you go and you stay with your parents who are super into dairy, super into... And so you have to kind of relax. You can't be completely uptight about it either.
Yeah, I think you can't shut people out. It's not like we're going to go... We're completely like, we're not going to ever do it ever again. But I tell you what, having cut these things back to near zero, I feel a lot better for it. And I think that, this particular path that we're taking is something that we can share during future podcasts.
Yeah. See how we're doing. I know what's going to happen, though, because I've been making really great desserts. I'll put one recipe up on the show notes for my alternative to Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, a healthy vegan raw situation to make for that. But I know what's going to happen. They are for sure going to say, like, anytime that cooking with or making stuff with coconut oil is really bad for you. I know that's...
You think, well, that's just part of the discovery, and we'll share that with people as we go along as well. But for now,
I really don't want to share that with me. I don't care about the other people.
It's almost,
I just feel like the joke is going to be so on me.
Okay, well, welcome to today and tonic water. Thank you. You know, I mean, this was your coconut milk.
No, that's not my. Your tonic water is your coconut milk.
Well, because I thought it was good for me. I thought the best. I thought it had no sugar in it, and that it was helping me, or had hardly any sugar in it. I didn't even think about having any sugar. And I thought that it was going to protect me from getting malaria from those mozzies that are out there.
What I hear is whatever you eat when you're camping, it's kind of like when you're flying. Whatever you eat when you're camping, it just doesn't count at all.
Okay,
like nothing matters.
That's good.
It's like an altitude thing.
Okay, and it's the same for flying?
Yeah, same.
So you can just eat crap loads of crap.
Yeah, we're like at 30,000 feet, baby.
Well, I tell you, when we're sitting here in this middle of this campground, we were talking about this a little bit.
In this Middle East campground?
No, in the middle of this campground.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood you.
I'm just thinking, this is, you know, as primal as we get in this day and age, isn't it? I mean, there's no power. There's no power. We brought our own little cooker. We have a campfire in front of us. There are tripping hazards all over the place. There are things that can go wrong. I feel in my life and in my work I am so HR'd. There are so many rules and regulations.
Like this
when
place,
I drive out,
this place, they said as soon as we signed them, they were so cool here. They said, you know, you can make a fire anywhere. It's just, you can go and gather the wood, or you can buy some wood here, or whatever. And to have someone say that, I cannot remember the last time we've camped when people were cool about where you light a fire, and no one goes stupid with it. It's like when you don't make rules for people do the right thing.
They're responsible. I mean, you're always going to have an idiot somewhere, but they're going to break a rule anyway if you put a rule in. I mean, most people who are listening to this are not sitting in Australia. What you have to understand about Australia is, as much as you think it's a free and easy, she'll be right mate kind of a place,
it's so uptight.
It can be. In some ways, it's a little freer than other places, but they have a hell of a lot of rules.
They love rules.
And one of them is that in the middle of fire season, you don't light open fires. You don't.
Which is sensible.
Campfires.
I mean, it makes sense. They have really bad bushfires in summer, but at this place,
sensible.
And I'll tell you something. This place is loaded with bush. It really is loaded.
No,
we're
surrounded by forests on all sides of us, and it's forest.
But there's just no rules, and there's no fire. People are sensible. There's no fires going out of control. There's a few, at night, like we'll start making our fire in a little bit. But I've just never, so just going back to what you were saying, like, Australia is so into its, what is it? OH&R?
HR, all of it. It's basically it's rules and regulations to keep us safe. And I'm so over that, and it's so nice to come to a place like this where we actually can we can go and gather some wood from the forest. We can light a campfire. We're going to be responsible about it. We're not going to be stupid idiots, and we're going to, enjoy a place which has very limited. We could actually camp wherever we wanted here. The rules of this campground were simply camp wherever the heck you want. I mean, how nice is that?
Yeah.
There are too many rules in this world. I hate it every time a new rule comes in.
Yeah.
I feel like it's,
Australians seem to love that, though. Australians seem to completely love doing
I think
rules.
that's too much of a generalization, but you're right.
They
Everywhere around.
High outfits. They love
everywhere around the world
of complaining about something officially.
I think you'll find that everywhere in the world is doing exactly is being ruled. There are too many rules, but when you come to a place like this, it's like going into the middle of America and getting into some kind of primitive campground area, or going into the middle of Europe somewhere and having a primitive camping experience. You actually get back to the basics where there's not so many rules. You can do what the heck you want. Everyone's going to be responsible. No one's going to get hurt, and if they do get hurt, it's not going to be life-threatening. It's just, we don't need all these damn rules, and it's nice to be in a place where we don't have them. and we can take a break.
And you said,
from
like,
them.
today when we were on the beach, it's like, it was nice to not have to be between the flags.
Well, yeah, not have, like, we live in Sydney, and you go to any beach in Sydney, any beach, any of the major beaches in Sydney, and you have to swim between the flags. And if you happen to go in the water outside of the flags, for safety reasons, you'll have a lifeguard pretty soon down on the sand next to you, blowing a whistle, telling you, for your own good, go down and swim between the flags because we have people watching you there and you won't be swept out and drown.
Yeah.
It's just another rule. I know what it's there for. I know it's there to save my life so I don't get swept out in a rip and die. Primarily it's there to save the lives of tourists who cannot swim very well, and so they should swim between the flags. I know why it's there, but it's it's these rules to save all of us from ourselves, basically. But in the end, it all kind of comes down to being responsible for your own actions. And I tell you, I think that it's nice to break away from all the Wi-Fi, break away from all the telephone networks, break away from a few rules, get out for a minute and enjoy the freedom of just being.
It's crazy, though, isn't it, that, slide that candle again. Oh. It's so crazy, though, that to get to a place where kids can go just riding their bikes, or people are just sitting outside talking to each other, that you have to drive somewhere, fill the car with a tent, and the blah, 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 blah. Like, we're camping in this tent. We camped in this tent 25 years ago with our kids all across America with the same exact tent. But it's crazy that you have to put yourself into a situation just to get to a place where you're not so connected.
Well, it reminds us of back in the day before everyone was connected to their phones.
Yeah.
I want to tell you one other thing that I think about when we're in a place like this. Right now, everything is kind of quietened down from when we first began the podcast. The kids have all kind of moved away. And if I look at all the campsites around me, and there's probably half a dozen or more people camping within just my view, all the campsites are pretty much vacant.
Yeah,
and there's food left on the tables. There's things open. There is a heck of a lot of trust.
Totally.
We're back. If you look around us, we're back to the days when people left their front doors open,
Absolutely.
unlocked. When I say open, unlocked. Mm-hmm. And here we are sitting in this place, and all around us, everyone's lives are unlocked. And everyone trusts each other, that no one's going to screw each other over, no one's going to steal from each other, no one's going to come in and do anything. I mean, there's a heck of a lot of trust being in a situation like this. And this is what it really brings us back to, and that is that place, that time when we had community. And even though we're camping among strangers, there seems to be this level of trust, which I think is, when it comes down to it, is pretty much part of the human condition. And we actually are good, trusting, want to just have a good time, all of us, and this is an example of that. We don't have to lock everything up. We don't have to be distrustful. We don't have to be suspicious that the neighbour is going to do something to us and, steal this or that or whatever. It's actually, a place where it's kind of a lovely little taste of what...
like humanity. It's a little bit life-affirming with humanity.
It is.
With the potential of...
It is families together, and we all are
trust.
here.
And everybody kind of respects each other's space.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a thief here, they could quite easily... I mean, everyone keeps their keys inside the tent. You go in the tent, you open the key. Inside the car is going to be everyone's wallets. I mean, you could go in and...
I charge my phone in the bathroom and just check on it, an hour
later. Just leave your phone sitting there. I mean, someone could actually come in and just rip people off right, left and centre, but it's not happening because everyone's in the same state of mind.
Yeah.
And so there's something perhaps here to take back to that big city when we leave.
Yeah.
Very soon.
I don't want to come. So, listen, I don't know what the name of our podcast is called. I guess it's called, for now, working title, The Dale and Sue Show. Listeners, if you have any ideas of what we should call our show, please let me know. I don't even know what our email address should be. Just send an email to Susan@thechangeguru.net if you have any thingies, or you can tweet to Susan_Paget. on Twitter. We're not quite sure. Maybe by the next episode we'll have a name for our show and an actual thingy. But anyways, you'll be able to figure it out.
And we'll have some new paleo recipes.
Yeah. We'll see if we're still doing paleo.
And whether I'm still drinking gin and tonics.
Yeah. See if there's a replacement for that dirty devil tonic water.
Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you guys soon.
Okay, bye. So that's that. I'd love to know your thoughts on the show. Send me an email or post a comment below at the below the show notes or over at thechangeguru.net. I'd love to know what your thoughts, what we should call the show, what kind of topics you'd like Dale and I to talk about. Throw us some ideas. I'd love to hear your feedback on it all. In the meantime, you know how to support the show. I appreciate everything that you bring into the community. So I love you being a part of it. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for listening. And look, until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.